Hello, everybody. I just wanted to do a video on Jurassic World Rebirth, which came out earlier this year. Um, and I now own it on digital on Fandango Home or Fandango Voodoo Home. And I really, really enjoyed this film. I thought it kind of was like a blend of like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and also a little bit of Alien with the scares from the dinosaurs and stuff that might have been the scariest we've seen the dinosaurs ever. But one thing that kind of bugs me a little bit about the science of it, and I know they don't always get it right, like sizes of dinosaurs and stuff. In the movies, they're way bigger than they are in real life usually, like the mosasaur, or like the raptors, which were explained in the Jurassic World movies, which I really enjoyed all three, now four of them. But they explained that these were not movie, these were theme park dinosaurs that were genetically engineered to be bigger than life, basically, to be exciting, to be like everyone always dreamed dinosaurs should be, like huge and scary and whatnot. That has always kind of been the theme of these Jurassic World movies and even the old movies, the first two in particular. Because I didn't really like the third one, uh, the one where they were saving the kid and his father from, or the kid and his stepdad, but it turned out, the stepdad was eaten. But anyway, I, it's kind of always been the theme, the good ideas go to shit, basically in these movies, and the same in the books. And that I think even Crichton kind of wrote that they were genetically engineered to be not really dinosaurs. So, but that being said, the dinosaurs in this movie couldn't live in like the northern hemisphere and even probably the southern hemisphere because it was too cold. Okay, dinosaurs really lived in cold climates. There were dinosaurs in the Arctic, there were dinosaurs in the Antarctic, there were dinosaurs in Alaska. And I know back then continents were slightly different and whatnot, but point fact remains dinosaurs did live in colder climates, and we are finding out more and more that dinosaurs had feathers, which would have kept them warm in colder climates. Maybe that's the thing. These dinosaurs were genetically engineered not to have feathers. Um, but even in the last Jurassic World, when they were on that place where Dodgen was, and there was a feathered dinosaur in the snow. So I suppose some dinosaurs could handle the snow better than others, and that one might have been like genetically engineered as well, or definitely probably was. But in this one, all the dinosaurs could only survive in the hemisphere right in the middle, like the middle of the Earth, the equator area. Because it was warm, the air was different, more like it was during the Jurassic period. But again, like I said, dinosaurs did live in cold climates. We know this for a fact. We have found dinosaurs in cold climates and in snow, in all that stuff. So that part of it just is a little, for me, it's like, I realized that like probably maybe my third or fourth watch. I was like, wait a minute. Dinosaurs lived in cold climates. How could this be that they can't live in cold climates? So that's kind of unrealistic. But sometimes you suspend your disbelief and just say, look, it's a movie. I enjoyed it for what it was, a fun popcorn flick. It's not, you're not supposed to sit back and think of the scientific ramifications of what's wrong and what's right. You're supposed to just enjoy it for what it is. And I enjoyed it for the popcorn flick that it was, and thought it was really good. One of my favorite parts is the part when the power comes on in the little gas station area on the island, and the song "Stand by Me" comes on, and I was like, wow, my mom probably would have liked that scene because she likes that song and she likes oldies music. So that's my favorite part, and I just love the scary dinosaurs. And then in the convenience store, there's these scary dinosaurs, and that whole scene is kind of reminiscent of the raptors in the kitchen with Lex and Tim. So I thought that was a major homage to that. Hey, do you guys remember any fans of Jurassic World, Jurassic Park out there that could remember the rumors before Rebirth came out that supposedly Tim and Lex were going to be in it? Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? They're like serious people saying, "Oh yeah, they're going to be in it." We heard their sources saying they're going to be in it. Well, that turned out to be not true. But yeah, fun movie. I even liked the family that was trapped on the boat. I even found that to be fun. And as a matter of fact, I almost found their adventure on the island and stuff and on the boat more exciting than the main characters. I mean, kind of like in King of the Hill, I'm more enthralled with the Bobby Hill side of the story in the new one. Again, like the movie, like King of the Hill as well, but sometimes it's not the main story that really intrigues you about something and really like pulls you in, you know. But yeah, it was fun. It was super fun. Film. Just little things, you know, that you say, wait a minute, dinosaurs lived in cold climates. It's like the one thing that really bugs me about the film. But whatever. I'm in the process of watching it right now. Still in the beginning. They're in New York City. You know, there's a scene when they're standing next to the water. The bad guy and Scarlett Johansson, and they're next to like a seawall and a fence and stuff, and a ferry goes by, and you could see someone waving. That's the director of Jurassic World 1 and 3. Colin Trevorrow. That's who that is. And he didn't even know that they were filming. He didn't know that was the filming of Jurassic World. He just like randomly said, "Hey, how you doing? You know, how you doing, guys? You know, you're filming a film. What are you filming, guys? You know." He had no idea. He had no idea that's what they were doing. According to him, you know, I don't know if I quite believe that side of the story. But yeah, it was. Well, just check that out. Check that scene out. It's coming up soon in my movie. They go to the museum. Convince the guy that works there, come with us. You gotta cut. You know, it's time to go. And then you see the scene by the water. Or I don't know if that's before or after. It's somewhere around there. It's like in the beginning of the film. But check that out, guys. It's really cool. And anyway, that's gonna be it, guys. Just one last thing. Although this bugs me a bit, the fact that dinosaurs did live in cold climates, and that in this movie they're stating that dinosaurs can't live in warm climates. Couple of factors. Again, these are theme park animals that were genetically engineered. Not many of them have feathers. So, like, we know a lot of dinosaurs had feathers. A lot more than we could ever have imagined. We're finding intact fossils with feathers that, I guess, the feathers don't last as long as the skin and the bones and whatnot. So, the way they genetically engineered most of these dinosaurs was not to have feathers. Not to have feathers. So, honestly, a dinosaur like that is going to have a little more trouble thriving in the cold with just skin and no feathers, no fur, nothing. So, and the reason they had feathers, dinosaurs, is because they're related to birds. So, technically, just like humans, Neanderthals didn't die out. They kind of like just evolved into humans or interbred with humans, and humans are part Neanderthal. We were part like caveman. So that's why some people will have more defined brows. Excuse me. But basically, Dinosaurs didn't all fully die out. Some of the dinosaurs evolved into birds. So they didn't all die out. That is something that a lot of people fail to mention or just don't know. So, and kind of like the big question, like what happened to woolly mammoths and mastodons and stuff? A lot of them evolved into elephants. A lot of them evolved into elephants. The elephants just didn't appear out of nowhere, right? They evolved from woolly mammoths and mastodons and stuff. So, does anything ever really fully die out? I guess some things do. I mean, didn't the dodo die out or something? They brought that up in the first Jurassic Park. I think they did. But, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys. Even though that scene kind of bugs me, when you take into account that these are theme park genetically engineered dinosaurs, we got to kind of suspend disbelief here and just say that, yeah, the dinosaurs that they genetically engineered died off, not the ones that were real because of cold. Okay, thank you guys, and I hope I didn't ramble too much. May the force be with you, and God bless.